Hello, everybody. Hello, hello, hello. Welcome to Get Off My Lawn. I am suffering with COVID. I'm always sick. I catch everything. So my voice is gone again, unfortunately. Let me turn my light on. See my pretty face. Uh, the point of Get Off My Lawn, there's several points to me doing this on a Saturday morning and waking everybody up to watch. The first is we have a lot of people in the group, in the Facebook group, as well as people who watch my channel that engage with me a lot that are not in the States. They're in Europe. They're in Central Asia. They're in different places. And when we do the videos, when we do the live streams at night, weekday nights, American time, it's very difficult for a lot of people to be on it. So I wanted to be able to do a stream where I can engage with people who are in different parts of the world and talk to them and have them participate in the stream. So that was one of the first points. Again, I got COVID. The second point was to try to, communicate with people who are in our circles of collectors who we want to kind of get a little bit of a feel for. And everybody has an interesting story, how you became involved in collecting, what's your collecting like, what's your collection, has it grown, has it changed, where are you at as a collector these days? So I wanted to kind of have a series kind of touching on that and talking with people. So who better to start us off with than the $1 Million Man, the collector. How you doing? Good morning.
I'm doing okay. I'm suffering too. I suffer from hoarding, so I'm a toy hoarder. If you haven't noticed that, so trying to get over my illness, but I think it's never going to be cured ever. So thanks for having me.
Yeah, I appreciate it, man. So we were a little bit late starting off. Why don't you tell the people why we were late starting off?
Why we were late? Because about 4 or 5 alarms went off leading up to 9 o'clock, and I told Kaji Daddy, "Oh crap, we got to order the figure obscura," so that's why we were late. So both of us ordered it, and like I said many times, if you want to dip your toes into something from the Four Horsemen, you got to go with figure obscura. It's an easy thing to achieve, and then you'll get addicted pretty quick. So. And I didn't even look at the figure. I just noticed that wings. I ordered it, right? So
yeah,
I almost went with the all in, but I don't even have room right now for a coffee mug.
Nobody has room for that.
No, and then where am I gonna, put the box? I threw away the Frankenstein box or the creature box, and I don't know why I did that. But
So
for what $69 for $69, at the prices they have right now, it's not a bad deal. So I definitely went with that. But like I said, I didn't even look at it. It's a no-brainer for me. I just buy it. So
just automatic, right?
Automatic. Now we noticed there wasn't any dio pieces with this, but what Kaji Day is showing us, you do get some extra stuff. So
you get a stand.
Yeah, you get a beautiful stand. So if you didn't know already, these things fall over, and if they fall from a great distance, they will snap. So,
yeah, looking good.
And then shipping, I think, was about shipping and tax brought it to 80, I think, for me.
Mine was 75. So I ship it to my buddy, and that's tax free. So I'm lucky in that regard.
Well, you're lucky you have a buddy.
I'm lucky I have a buddy. I'm lucky I have friends. I count my blessings every day.
Yeah. Are you gonna lose that buddy soon? I think you said that.
Well, I lose friends all the time,
Yeah.
It's the nature of the beast of being a bit of a dickhead. So
yeah. I'll go into a grocery store and somebody will say, "Hey Ryan, what's up?" I'll look at him like, I have no idea who this guy is. And then about a month later, he'll say, "Hi, hey, how you doing?" I'm just like, how do I know him? I don't know. So
that's a little bit with age, man.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Because when you asked me about my collecting journey, I'm like, let me try to remember that. So we did a
All
stream
right.
some time ago with that, right?
So Ryan kind of got right into it right there. We're gonna talk about Ryan, his collecting journey, where he started, where he's kind of gone from there. I'm gonna ask him questions. Um, People in the chat, you can write down some questions too. At the end of my questions, we'll go through and we'll ask whatever you guys have on your mind, whatever you want to ask him. You know, he claims to be the victim of enablers. He's really an enabler himself. So he can't play victim and cry victim here. We all know who he is. We see through him. So put your questions down and we'll get to it. So let's start off with a bang. Let's get our first question. I wrote it down. So let's get to it. When and why did you start collecting figures? So bring us back to little Ryan.
Yeah.
When you had more hair on your head, less hair on your face, how did you get into collecting?
How did I get into collecting? I think for a lot of us growing up in the figures. So my definition of collecting is probably later in life, just buying stuff to collect a mass consumption of it. So I would say around 2013, 2014, my wife worked, she's a pharmacist. So she had a discount at one of the stores. And I'd always use the discount to get Black Series because I was always a Star Wars fan. And I started buying the Black Series boxes, so the blue stripe and the orange stripe boxes, the first ones. And every time I would go in there, I'd buy it. I think it was like $11 with the discount or $10. So it was pretty cheap. So I put those in my son's closet, and he was born a couple years before that. And I keep putting these figures and figures in the closet. I didn't know what I consumed. And the next thing I know, a couple years down the road, I decide, I got to get these boxes out of a kid's closet, right? And I just remember this is around 2020, I think. I just remember, about 2019. I think I started taking the boxes out. I didn't realize how much crap I had and how much thousands of dollars I eventually would sell it for. So that would probably be my collecting journey. But when I was younger, it was G.I. Joe, but that wasn't really collecting.
As a kid?
As a kid, my collecting was baseball cards. So it was passed down from my father. He always complained about, I had this card, I had that card. And he always talked about he put it in his bike spokes. They didn't think much of, how much they would be worth down the road. And that's kind of how I was a kid until he introduced me to baseball card collecting and autographs. And I actually worked at a collecting store, autograph store. It was called Field of Dreams. I don't know if you guys have ever been to that, but I remember seeing celebrities. I would buy like Mike Tyson's autograph. Joe Theismann would walk in. A lot of celebrities. So it was kind of neat. But that collecting journey lasted forever. I think baseball cards, I stopped doing that when I realized in the 1980s they mass produced so many cards. And collecting autographs, I didn't know you had to have a letter of authenticity. And I have Mickey Mantle's autograph in a corner of my arcade room, just smashed in the corner, framed up. And I don't know if it's worth anything, but at the same time, I believe it's his autograph because I got, signed by him. But that's kind of how my collecting journey started. And then Lego, of course, behind me. I don't recall having Legos when I was a kid. So, entertainment or movies or cartoons would always influence me. And this obviously influenced me from the Lego movie. So I saw that dad that had that awesome collection in the basement. I was like, I don't want to be that dad. So I went pretty hard in Lego around 2013 or 2014. And then I kind of scaled back, I would say, about 4 or 5 years ago.
You went into Lego for yourself or for your kids?
This was more for myself at first. They couldn't even do a Lego set until they reach a certain age. Like the Eiffel Tower back there, my son put that together. But like the Ghostbusters, all that stuff I put together. And then I would say I think it was 2020, my son started doing the Lego sets himself. Just having that confidence, because I don't like to buy the small sets. I want to buy the big sets, and that's my biggest complaint with Lego today is they cheapen out. I don't mind spending money on Lego sets, but I don't want some tiny set. I want the bigger, sets. So, but I would say, collecting for some people are a lot different. We didn't have phones growing up. We didn't have computers. For me to go to a toy store, one, it took me a month of doing chores, like I've talked about before. My mom would have to get in the car, drive 45 minutes to Children's Palace. And then she had that strict, cost limit, nothing above $5. And it typically was a G.I. Joe or some random like Rambo toy or something that I thought was cool. And even back then, I probably had ADHD, right, as a collector or as a consumer. And it'd always be like 1 year for Christmas was Transformers. The next year was like Star Wars. The next year was Thundercats. The next year was Laser Tag. I remember Laser Tag. And it's so funny. I remember when Pound Puppies were popular. Do you remember that?
Of course.
Back in the day. And my mom or dad, I don't know who did this decision, but they would always run out. And there was only, I had a brother and a sister, and they were only able to get 2 Pound Puppies. And they get to some electronic dog, which you would think back is pretty cool. And guess who got that? Me. Guess what I did? I took that thing, I threw it in the fireplace. I got grounded on Christmas Day. If you knew my mom, she sent me up to my room and just chewed me out. I ruined Christmas, right? But that's how I was as a kid. I was all over the place.
Is that all you got for Christmas? Is that why you were so raged?
No. It was a stupid, like my brother got it, my sister got it, I didn't get it. This is a bunch of crap. Threw it in the fireplace. When fireplaces were fireplaces, I got a lot of good stuff. I remember getting the flag. I thought the Ewok Village on the same Christmas day, but it was so different. We didn't buy toys every weekend. And then, as I got older, it turned into Nintendo. And I remember when Nintendo came out and my buddy across the street had it. The buddy behind the little forest we had it. So I would go over to his house. And that's kind of where that in sports, that's kind of what slowed me down on just buying toys. And then, my mom would throw away everything. And, you think about where the heck did that stuff go? Knowing my mom, she was a clean freak, unlike me. And she would just toss those things out. But I would say around 2016, 2017 is when I got pretty hardcore. And that was even after this and Black Series Star Wars. I took that Black Series Star Wars. As soon as I see companies reproducing things, like not even, doing something, different, just repackaging it, selling it. That's kind of my call to think about other things. And I saw that with Star Wars Black Series, and I sold all that stuff and rolled that into something more expensive down the road, which is Hot Toys.
So you got into Black Series.
Yeah.
And then you started pivoting to Lego. And then you went into Hot Toys?
And then Hot Toys. And, I just dabble in some things, like some random thing I have right here. Like, I don't even know when I bought this, but, just going through Walmart, buying things. And this is pretty old. I would say this is, who Kimbo Slice is?
Yeah.
The homeless guy that became like some, social media. It was around when he was popular. I think I just went into Walmart, saw it was on sale. I used to buy things on sale and consume it, but I didn't even think Black Series was collecting. I just buy it as an investment, and that was my mindset. Buy something, don't open it, and then sell it for profit, like basically, a flipper or eBay. But I've done investments my whole life, so outside of collecting.
So you were you were into toys when you were a kid in the 80s,
Yeah.
and it kind of ended with G.I. Joe. G.I. Joe was the last kind of toy line you played with.
Now, I would say, I think Thundercats was after that, right? So I
Well,
think
it kind of,
Thundercats,
they
yeah,
kind of ran
about the
parallel.
same time. So I would say mid 80s, and then I would say like 86, 85, around there. And then it started turning into sports. So I played tons of sports. I played a sport,
Okay. So in like
hockey.
86, 87, you started getting into sports.
Yeah. And then it
And
was
then
video games,
you went all the way to 2013. Is that the right year? And
probably. I mean,
in
I'd buy,
between, you weren't collecting any toys.
well, I have like TMNT stuff. I really just dabble here and there, but never really collecting a line. And I would think Black Series is the first thing I was like just buying and storing it. Um, because, when I was in college, I never really bought toys. Um, I was so broke, I would go get plasma um, to drink beer, to go out and party. That's what I had to do. And I've already told you guys, all my money
You
went to
Midwest
college.
guys are crazy.
Yeah. I worked my butt off. So I was working in a bar when I was 16 years old and working until 2 a.m. In the morning. So my dad loved me because he didn't have to pay for college. I took a loan out for my dad when I lived in Mexico and then went to New York City to work in television. And it was so expensive to live in big cities. I mean, I can't imagine Boston. Um, but New York City was, I mean, it was $1,000 a month. I had no extra income. I would buy a 6-pack of Foster's, um, Raisin Bran, I think. I didn't even have enough money for milk. And I buy yogurt. I put the cereal in the yogurt, eat it, and it was $1,000 to live on West End Avenue in New York City, which is about 100th block, I think, off Broadway. And let me tell you, I had to unplug the refrigerator to put my alarm clock in the same plug to get up every morning. I was talking to crackheads before I probably even knew what a crackhead was. In New York
Well,
City, it was
I
rough.
guess that explains why you didn't have any milk.
Yeah, I didn't have any milk, but yeah, I remember those days. So I didn't have any money until um, I had money when I probably got married and had a job and living in a smaller place called Indiana. So Indiana is a lot cheaper than East Coast, Chicago, West Coast. So we got things pretty good here, which hopefully they keep going that way.
Okay, so let's go into the next sort of big topic.
Okay.
What are your top 3 lines in terms of volume?
That I collect currently,
Yeah.
G.I. Joe, um, Valverse, and I would say Hot Toys.
Okay. So do you have any idea about the numbers?
No, I think I have every G.I. Joe, but maybe 2 or 3. And then multiples. Valverse. I don't have every Vanguard. But most of the figures I have so much I can't even get them on shelves. And I think right now for Valverse, I'm behind like 40 figures just opening them. So, and those are lines I enjoy. Like even like Valverse, I remember going on BBTS because I heard something on social media. So Facebook has really influenced my collecting, but the groups is the only reason why I have Facebook. Basically, is the groups because I feel like that saved Facebook. But I remember someone saying, "Oh, the shipments from Valverse finally arrived at BBTS." So it was back when nobody knew where stuff was, like Hot Toys, IG-11. Oh, it's sold out. I think it's still around today. But those shipments got to BBTS. And I remember buying some, and next thing you know, I spent $300. I mean, that's kind of how I dabble into things.
Yeah, that's how you roll.
And then I liked them. I really liked them, and then they sold out. And I don't even know if I even knew about the Valverse website at the time. And then I started buying more and more of Valverse. And it's a line that I like. It's a line that you want to army build with. So I think when he has a series that has a lot of army builders, I think for a collector like me, I get all into it. In the head packs, I need to, I have, I think it was 9 of the blowbacks with the camouflage, and he had them on discount or on sale. And I was like, each one has to have a different head. What are all the different options? So it's very easy to just mod them up or customize them. So that's why I like that line. G.I. Joe, of course, is, the cartoon I grew up with. I would program my TV with the old VHS and hope it programs, it's programmed correctly, and you have enough of the VHS tape left to tape it.
Yeah, to record it.
And then running home after sports and trying to watch it, and then realizing, crap, it wasn't the correct time. So I think G.I. Joe is so awesome because you can relive your childhood, but also at the same time, you're like, now I'm buying figures. I don't even recall them when I was a kid. And like I said, I just tape and watch, G.I. Joe. I didn't understand, like, there's episode 1, 2, 3, 4. I didn't know the storyline. You just watch random episodes.
Well, they didn't go in order most of the time.
And what's funny is I try to stay out of G.I. Joe. And I've told this story before. My wife took the 2 kids to a lake.
Yeah.
And I hate lakes. I hate them.
I hate wives too.
Yeah. So they left me alone. And I would go to GameStop, but I always felt like GameStop was a rip-off place, right? But I knew they had action figures. So I went there, and they were having like some big discount deal. And there's G.I. Joe. So I got Flint, I think, for like $4 and Lady J for like $4. And I remember taking Lady J out, and she had her entire lower body was so jacked up. She couldn't even stand up. So I have her as a sniper. And then Flint was pretty cool. And ever since then, I would just, go on eBay trying to get some Cobra Troopers. Then I started army building that. And, it's like every little thing that comes now, I just buy. So like the G.I. Joe guard tower or command center, I think somehow I got around the limits. I think I have like 10 or 12. So I'm going to keep those though, because I'm telling you, they look kind of cool, putting them together. So that's the line I love. And then Hot Toys. Hot Toys is something I still remember to this day. I had it on pre-order. I think it was Thanos and I think it was Battle Damage Iron Man. And it took forever. And I had bought like a John Wick. I think it was John Wick, or I forget what figure it was. Maybe it was Darkseid Anakin. And I had them, and I'm thinking, I'll never buy any more again. So if you go down Hot Toys, that's a complete lie. I mean, I have 5 Hot Toy boxes I haven't even opened up. And one of them I've had for a month. And I think Hot Toys is the most addicting one, because you want to have everything in a line. So like clones, I want every clone, or I want every clone commando. Even if I don't have the connection with them, I still want them. And that's the dangerous thing of collecting, is you want to do that. So those are my 3 favorite lines as of this moment.
Those are your 3 lines in terms of volume. So are those also your 3 favorite lines?
No.
Well, that's what you just said.
Yeah. My 3 favorite lines is Hot Toys. Geez, I don't know. Like, I like Mafex a lot, but at the same time, I get pissed off about the price. I like, I love
Legions.
I like 4 Horsemen stuff. So I like Mythic Legions. I've been trying to stay out of Cosmic Legions. I have a couple, and I want the Slog, which is at $80. But my problem is Kaiju Daddy, if I buy something, then I get addicted to it, and I just keep buying. And then I also like Gridiron. So I'm all over the place. My 3 favorite lines, if I just had to pick something, is G.I. Joe, of course.
Hot Toys.
Yeah, Hot Toys. And the third one is a revolving door. I can't even give you 3. So,
all right. Next, if you could only collect one scale, what would it be and why?
1/6. I think the detail on 1/6 is a lot better. I know articulation is not the best, but if you've seen me in my figure posing, it takes a lot of time to pose 1/12, and 1/6 definitely. I think I spend less on 1/6 than 1/12, but after my first episode of Toy Hoarders, where I looked at only 2 sites of each on 1/6 and 1/12, that 1/6 though does go way up in price, but I would collect 1/6 if it was the only scale I could buy.
Okay, that's probably going to change when Valaverse is doing the World War II stuff, though, right?
Yeah, and I hope he really. I just hope he really focuses on actual World War II stuff and not stretch it too much. And I think he's
Not
talked
kinda
about
doing
like,
movie versions of everything.
yeah, I just pretty accurate stuff would be cool.
Okay.
And I think he's talked about like the Action Force, characters have like father or great grandfather that's in it or something, whatever the timeline is. But if he does it right, I think it'd be pretty cool.
Okay.
Or whatever he does, he's gonna think is right. But what I would like as an armchair quarterback here, what's my most prized figure?
Most prized figure.
It's always the one I don't have yet.
If the house was burning down and you could only grab one thing, what would it be? It could be a vehicle too. It could be a vehicle or a Lego.
Dude, you know what? It's a statue though. I like the Enfys Nest statue.
Okay.
Which is kind of crazy, but I love that. Figure wise, geez, I don't know, man. I would never take just one though. I would just
it's usually emotional, right? It's usually an emotional attachment.
Emotional attachment, huh? That's a very tough question. The one figure, I think the Umbra Trooper you sold me.
Really?
Yeah, I'll just pick that one. I take that.
All right. All right. 2 questions left, and then we'll take some questions from the audience. How do you feel collecting has changed since you started?
How has it changed? Just personally myself?
Since you started.
My collecting's changed different. I mass consume tons of stuff. I'd always say, "Oh, I have a focus." I remember just collecting 1/6 and saying I'm not collecting 1/12. And nowadays, I'm collecting 1/18 now.
Yeah.
So, which is crazy to think, but and in the future, like dios, I purchased a dio again. So the guy's making me another dio, and I told him, I said, I want to have a whole room of just dios. And that really came from my son. My son said, Dad, we can't put dios in our 1/12 room. There's not enough room. I mean, we got a rattler on the floor, but
you need shelving.
Yeah, shelving. And it's so much easier to buy things because I know you, I know other people, and then I know about websites. I know about comic book stores that don't, charge shipping and tax. You also know, you can do a paying for, through a firm or PayPal. It's just too easy to buy things nowadays. Like I have a charge coming up for like $87. I'm like, what the heck is it from? And it was from Mezco. So it's the Rumbler, right? So everybody's like, oh, I'm not going to buy the Rumbler. And then I'm like, well, I can pay it off in 4 payments. The first one doesn't start in like 2 weeks. It's too easy now. So collecting is so easy because of the payment options, and then companies getting around like charging tax and stuff somehow. I don't know how they do it. Sometimes I wonder if I should start a company, right? and just buy a large amount of something and then
You
hopefully
won't
sell
sell
it.
anything. You'll just keep it all, right?
Well, there's a guy, so I collect omnibuses and omnibus, the correct word for plural, and then hardcovers. And I've been doing that longer. I've been doing that since 2017, I think. And that's a weekly habit of mine. And there was a gentleman that started his own company and he bought one omnibus that he thought was going to be hot. And he bought like, I don't know, 50 of them. And that would pay for his hobby. He would get one for free. I mean, that's crazy to think about that, but people do that. And I feel like if you were smart enough and you really, were able to predict what would be hot, like the Chaos Superman, if you bought a bunch of those, you would at least get one for free. But I don't think I'll do that as a collector. That's just kind of risky, I think, but something I thought about before.
Okay. Last question.
Yeah.
What are your top 5 most wanted figures, vehicles, or lines?
Okay, so vehicle definitely be the flag.
Which scale?
What else? I would love like World War
112 scale?
II. Huh?
112 scale?
For vehicles, yeah, vehicles. So 112 for the vehicles, definitely.
That's one.
I really, yeah.
Top 5. That's one.
Top 5. So flags number 1.
Yeah.
2 is the whale. 3 is World War II stuff. 4 would be I would really like Red Dead Redemption. I love that game. And then number 5 would be
Red Dead Redemption what? Like
the game.
112 scale, 16 scale?
Oh, 112 scale. 112 scale.
Okay.
And then let's say 16. 16 scale. I think the Star Wars episode 4 stuff. Because I missed out on a lot of that stuff because of the time I was collecting. So I definitely want that.
Bonus question. What about a Lego piece?
A Lego piece. I think on a Lego piece, I always want a prison. Like a humongous like Alcatraz or something. I think that'd be cool. Yeah. Because I try to do like my own version and it just doesn't look correct. So I think an Alcatraz prison would be cool in a Lego set. And there was something on YouTube I found a long time ago, and a guy actually did one, and it was hilarious. It was so funny and raunchy. But I've always wanted a Alcatraz prison in my Lego city.
Thank you very much. All right. Let's get into the comments. Again, I'm suffering from COVID, so please bear with me. So again, one more time, Bones. Good morning, good afternoon, Bones. I'm not really sure where you are. Initial Goose. Good morning, man. Thanks for being here. Laser Pants awake pretty early in the morning for this. Pretty interesting. Unacceptable. What are you talking about?
Isn't he in Seattle or Oregon?
Yeah, man. It's like 3 in the morning over there.
Yeah, I have an aunt that lived out there.
Limoncello. What's going on, man? I was talking to Limoncello overnight. Had to pick up something for him the other day. Maurice, what's going on? So just kind of going through. Ian has renounced his citizenship and his residency. He's in love with Vietnam, and he says he doesn't want to come back to Japan. So good luck to you, Ian. As someone born and raised in New Jersey, this is a no-brainer. Yeah, okay. That looks like a gray figure, man. All right, so how big is yours? The Lego set. How many pieces do you have for your Lego set?
The answer is I have no idea, but I can tell you how many tables.
How many tables do you have? How many tables?
So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 6, 7. I have 7 tables. And the tables used to be cheap. Now they're expensive. So
Everything's
now
expensive.
I will say we have plans for expansion. And I've asked my son, because this is like my collecting though is mostly with kids. I mean, my daughter doesn't play with toys. Or she really hasn't ever. Like I would buy her Lego sets and for Christmas, and as soon as I noticed she wasn't opening them, I'd put it in the closet and resell it years later. Which I always did that with Lego sets. And guys, I'm not kidding you. I would
Awful
make
father.
tons
Awful.
and tons of money off of Christmas presents because if they don't appreciate it, I'm gonna put it in a closet and we're gonna wait a couple years. I'm gonna sell it. So you're
Unbelievable.
not like that. See, I'm always thinking if they don't show appreciation, I'm gonna keep that thing. I'm gonna sell for profit and then roll it into something else. But yeah.
Initial Goose don't have a roadmap for you, man. I don't know. That's kind of crazy. Um, you still have your Black Series 1 Vader? Does that go for any kind of money? I don't think so. I don't think those Black Series go for much.
Okay.
Those old ones.
When Mando came out, so that was what, 2020? And Clone Wars the last season, that was a peak opportunity to sell Black Series. So I remember seeing Commander Cody. I had him like 2 or 3 boxes of him. I think I sold them for like close to 200 or more.
Oh yeah.
And you could get a lot, but I'm telling you, once I saw like, oh, they're gonna, come out with another one, or they're letting the fans vote, I was just like, no, I gotta sell these. But yeah, I had all of them in multiples. But when Clone Wars, the last season started coming out, those figures went for insane amount of money. So I even had Princess Leia or Slave Leia. I sold her.
That's the figure that turned me off of the Black Series.
Yeah.
Like it's so awkward the way that it's like.
Well, it looked terrible. Yeah, it looked awful. And then you would get boxes like from Amazon. Amazon made it easy. I mean, you could get these. I think I got her for like $12. And you would get boxes in the mail from Walmart and Amazon. They just be crushed. So Slave Leia the box was completely crushed. I just met this mechanic guy who's all about this box, and he paid me, I think it was like $70 or $80. I sold it. But it probably would have got more if it was a nice box. But at that time, you're not paying taxes on it, you're not shipping it. And then the best thing I ever did was I met one of my friends had a son-in-law who he just got into Black Series. And he was like, oh, I'll tell you a site that has all the listings of how much they're worth. And he gave me the site. What is it? The 401? I can't remember what it was called. And I went on there and I just gave him like 20% off of whatever the highest price was. And he bought all of them. I had to put the guy on payment plan. And I made off selling all the Black Series. I think $6,000 to $8,000 I made.
Wow.
So and he bought tons.
That's crazy.
And I had to put him on a payment plan.
Yeah. I mean, that kind of money, you got it, right?
Yeah. But eBay was great. And then eBay, I feel like, is pointless anymore. Unless you it's just taxing and taxes, their fees. It just took the fun out of it, of doing that stuff.
What up, Nicotronis? Good morning. Initial Goose, you got some $40 set at Walmart that your daughter wanted that wasn't more than a handful of minifigs. Yeah, I mean, you never know what you're getting with these sets, man. It's crazy.
Oh yeah, and the minifigures is what I started using eBay for. The little, minifigures are cheap to ship.
Yeah. Spaced One McDysentery. I like the name. My first toe in this water was NECA Toon Turtles. My sister got me one for my birthday. Didn't even know the world existed. Went down that rabbit hole for years until he discovered Mafex and Mezco. I aged out on the turtles. My brother was into the turtles. My brother's 7 years younger than I am. So when I kind of got out of toys, I had basically almost every GI Joe figure ever made, and I put them in a box for him, and I gifted him like every Joe made between like 82 and 87, and gave them to him, and he proceeded to like break about 3 or 4 of them every month.
Does your brother still live?
For a long time.
Does your brother still live in Boston?
Yeah, he's still in Boston.
Yeah.
I'm the only one who ventured out. Let's just keep going through this. Burgess, 90s baby, cartoons weren't available 24 hours a day like they are now. Very true. So he spent the in-between hours playing with the action figures. When the Dragon Ball Z line started, it was mind-blowing for him, and that's what got him started. Cool.
So like the Dragon Ball Z, I have no memory of that at all.
No, that wasn't my thing. Yeah, like spent lots of hours just staring at toys at KB Toys, Toys R Us. Old store Ames. I remember Ames. I went to Ames to pick up the Power of the Force 2 Luke ceremonial figure. Ames was the only place that had it back in the day. I used to drive around like every morning, hitting up stores when they would open. I had to schedule my work schedule for a certain time. Like I was in college, and then I had a work schedule.
Yeah.
And my work schedule was pretty flexible, so I could I could hit up these stores when they open, and it was great. It was awesome.
It was funny is I worked by a bunch of stores, and I never even thought about it.
Really?
Back then.
Like going in?
No, I just remember video games. That's about. I remember like Sega Dreamcast, and all my money would go to video games back then.
Yeah. Morning, Jose. What's going on? How you doing? Jose with a gift of 5 Kaiju Daddy channel memberships. Thank you, man. Let me get into the actual stream so I can read those off. You gave one John George Peppers, Power of X-Men, 78 points of articulation. Joker-sama, and I don't know, what is this? Exo Bitor, Show Bitor. I'm not sure how you pronounce that, but thank you, Jose, man, brother. Thank you very much. Appreciate that. Really do. That's awesome. Let's keep going through. See what else we got. Any more questions for Ryan? Come on, guys. Remember Fox Kids G.I. Joe? So
I just remember G.I. Joe being on Channel 4, whatever Channel 4 was back in the day.
Well, I mean, Channel 4 is probably a local channel for you, right?
Yeah, the funny thing is, like, when you think about the shows you watch and you try to find people that watched it, like The Great American Hero. Do you remember that? The guy?
Of course.
Yeah.
It's a great show.
Yeah. I used to love that.
Commission him to send you some dials.
Well, the gentleman that's doing the one that's doing my dial right now is the one that made the bar that I have. But I kind of want to scale back on buying stuff and just investing in dials. What is that? A pool table?
It's a 1/12 pool table.
Oh.
Now, if you had enough room in your bar, I would have asked you if you wanted this, but you don't.
Yeah.
So this is going to Sneaky. So it's got like this is the MMM toys, the toys. It scales little bit. It scales a little bit bigger than 1/12. It's probably like 1/10.
Yeah.
But it's cool for like photography.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It comes with all the balls. It comes with the cue sticks and stuff like that.
A lot of times in photography, I've noticed is they just zoom in. It's not like you got to have the whole entire,
Yeah, just have something in the background, kind of out of focus.
And that's something else I want to get into is photography. But I told Sneaky Figures, when I was doing photography, I took photography throughout high school and a couple years in college. We were developing our own film.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
And I remember the
It
teacher
wasn't as
trying to learn
digital
how to
back
do
then.
Photoshop. And I would
Yeah.
watch and be like, what is he doing? Like, I had no idea anything about technology then. But it's so funny because, like, some of my greatest experiences were in those classes. And I was thinking about all the weird kids that were in my graphic arts class. And we had the stoners. We even had to do that. I swear, I'm pretty sure he was a skinhead. And I didn't know what that was back then. I was like, what the hell is this dude wearing all this like he's in Nazi Germany? And then we had like the girl that would never talk. Then we had the kids that would like make the bumper stickers that you weren't supposed to make in class. And then the teacher who I really like, I can't remember his name, but he looked like
Mr. Magoo.
no, he didn't like he did what the heck's that boss guy in Simpsons name? I'm having a brain fart here.
Mr. Burns.
Mr. Burns. The dude looked like Mr. Burns. And he would swim every morning, but he'd call me slacker. Slacker. You're a slacker. You're a slacker. And
He watched Back to the Future too much.
yeah, he called me a slacker all the time.
Body.
All of us were slackers. But in reality, we were pretty bad in high school. Like, I was awful in high school. And then my mom cracked the whip on me and made sure I studied. And I finally got my act together.
Well, we got a question from Initial Goose. If you could design one toy and have it be instantly successful, what would you design and what scale and what cool feature would it have?
If I could design, it would be the President's Gone Wild 112.
Someone's got to make
Like,
that line, man.
I cannot believe, like, nobody's done. And I always say it wrong. The Vampire Slayer, the Lincoln the Vampire Killer or Hunter, whatever it is. But how does it nobody make that? And I think it'd be cool.
I want to see fast food mascots, and I want to see President's Gone Wild, and you can mix them up.
Yeah,
you can do like heroes of American history. We could have all these ex-presidents and Colonel Sanders and
FDR like on
FDR and his hover
like
chair
a Mad Max like wheelchair looking design chair something crazy. But I think that would be a hit, man.
Dude, I would buy them. I would absolutely buy them.
Just insane stuff.
It'd be great.
I don't know why. And I've mentioned it, like I think it was on a Savage Crucible stream. I said something about it, and one of the guys laughed about it and said, "That's a good idea." And then nobody else even acknowledged it. So I'm like, okay, whatever. But I'm pretty sure presidents
Someone's
are gonna
make it. Someone's gonna make it. It's gonna be a hit, and you and I are gonna be like, "Told you so."
We don't even care. We don't want to make it. We just want somebody to make it.
Yeah,
we can profit off of it.
Yeah. All right, next question. If Ryan had to stop collecting a certain line or brand, stop collecting one, what would it be? Not something you're passive on. Not something you're passive on. Like if you legit had to stop collecting one thing, what would it be?
If I had to? Jeez.
Lego?
Maybe Monster Force or Mythic Legions, I think. I don't know. I think those are costly. So, and we'll talk about that on my stream today is about Monster Force. So, but I would say those are the two lines.
I don't think NECA did an Abraham Lincoln Vampire Hunter. I don't think so. Did they? Anybody know?
Recall.
Dude, a president's line of figures would be insane. It would be great. Like they're not just the presidents. You have them as like a SEAL Team 6, like an A-team type of crew that comes together and you do it all up. Like I said, George Washington, he comes with a Velociraptor or even a T-Rex that he rides.
Yeah.
He's got Uzis. Like, dude, that would be so awesome.
Oh, Ronald Reagan. dress up as the Gipper or something,
Or have him like with like these laser guns, like
Yeah,
really
something
ridiculous
insane.
50 style laser guns.
And there's a huge fan base, and people that might not even be collect, they would buy it. Like my brother, he buys the beer steins. He's in politics, so he buys and collects the beer steins for politics, like Democrat,
And you could do
Republican.
other people. You could be like, you could have it be like G.I. Joe and Cobra. You could have like
Yeah,
Castro, you could have Khrushchev, you could have Gaddafi,
yeah,
you could have everybody.
all
It
the
would be
bad
great.
guys. That would be that would. Oh, that's great. Having the
Stalin.
zombies.
Yeah.
Because I always thought DC the vampire story, and I think and McFarlane would come out those figures. I loved them. Like the Superman, Batman was great. The Joker was great, and then they kind of got silly. But I think it's a line that you need to have. So
It needs
I
to
mean,
be
heck,
done. And
chicken fried toys.
Bobby should do it once he starts getting that greenbacks from the World War II line, and he realizes, hey, there's a lot of people who want this historic
Yeah,
stuff. He'll get the
yeah.
message. He'll get the
And
memo.
my son went to Joe Fest. He was interested in the World War II figures. And I'm like, you think kids don't know much about history, but I think the more realistic stuff, I think they're kind of drawn into.
Yeah, Genghis Khan, Napoleon, like everybody. It would be badass. It would be so cool. Just a shelf of that kind of thing, but like over exaggerated, right? Like have it not historically accurate, but having some fun with it. I love that.
Yeah, I think that to me that would be a great thing to do. And I think they're fair game, right? I mean, after a certain amount of years.
Well, no, I mean they're public figures. They're fair game. So anyway, if you're out there listening, people who make toys, action figures, this is something, do it up.
What would be your vehicles though?
We don't really need vehicles. You could just put
Air
them in
Force One.
Air Force One that turns into a transformer or something.
Yeah.
Be badass.
Yeah.
Be badass. Not really a Joe fan, but the ones I do like are all World War II and Vietnam. Yeah. I mean, like can't see it. I got a World War II shelf. There's like Vietnam War stuff in there as well. But, I collect that stuff. I love my Joe stuff.
Yeah. A figure we need is that Tom Cruise in Born on the 4th of July.
What's that dude's name?
Cool.
I
don't know. I just remember his helmet.
Ron Kovac.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool.
Well, no, it was like Full Metal Jacket was the one with the main thing. But I got Charlie Sheen from Platoon, and he has like a pretty cool helmet. But Matthew Modine's character in Full Metal Jacket, it was like, I don't know, Born to Die or something like that they used in like the poster. So my man is always here ready. Reflex Jack. All right. So I got some good news and I got some bad news. The good news is I'm still grabbing figures for people who wanted them. The Bane is out. The Hush is out. I got the Hush right here. I haven't opened it. I didn't get Hush initially. I'm heading to the new Medicom Tokyo toy store probably tomorrow. I'm going to have a look at it. And if the people in there are the people from back in the day, I'll be able to talk to them and try to get some confirmation. I can also ask a retailer who gets a manifest of everything that's going to be coming in like that week or the next week's shipment. So I can find out like maybe early next week if it's on their manifest. If it's coming out, he'll tell me. So if I don't hear from the Medicom people, I'll ask one of the retailers that I know. And if it's listed that it's coming out, then it's coming out. So I'll try to get that information, like I said, this week. And if it's just Andrew, it's just Andrew. If there's a Jubilee in there, or some Age of Apocalypse figures in there, great. But as of right now, I'm betting on the Andrew coming out on Saturday next week, the 30th. So we'll see. The bad news, I went to Akihabara tonight. It's now 11 o'clock. I went there tonight, and all the Batmans are gone. Boom! They're gone. They went on sale today in the stores, and they were gone. Nothing. All the Batmans are gone.
So that easily is the number one figure, huh?
Yeah. Now, let me say this. In the Medicom stores, that was not the case. The figure that was in less supply was the Spider-Man, the Scarlet Spider. One Medicom store I went to, I got the last 2 Scarlet Spiders, and they had plenty of the Batmans. So if I'm getting the Batmans for people, I'm still going. There's a limit of, I think it's like 3 per person per transaction. So I have to go like every day and keep going back and keep going back and keep going back. So I'm still getting stuff for people. I'm not giving up. I've been going every day. I've been grabbing stuff. But Akihabara today, like all the retailers all throughout Akihabara, everyone was sold out of that Batman. The stores that had it on Friday officially came out today. They put it out a little bit early on Friday. Is gone already. Gone. So, that's the one I get, apparently. But the Medicom stores, the Spider-Man was selling out more. So just keep that in mind. Yeah, I mean, Scarlet Spider is still available. Homelander is available, but he was in short supply as well. Like these exclusives, they were very short supply. But I'm still grabbing them. Like I said, I'm going every day. It's a pain in the ass, but I'm trying to help people out, so I'm still going. So keep hope alive. Keep hope alive. Lemoncello, before we end the stream, Lemoncello, top 5 U.S. presidents you'd want figures of. For me, Trump, Clinton, maybe, Washington, Lincoln, and probably Reagan, with maybe Tricky Dicky in there. Maybe it's like, is he a good guy? Is he a bad guy? I mean, like, which way is he? What would be your 5, Ryan? Your 5 presidents?
My 5, well, definitely George Washington, Abraham Lincoln. I'd say Obama, Donald Trump. I don't know, FDR.
All right, that's 5.
Yeah.
Who's your dark horse?
Maybe my dark Teddy Roosevelt.
Teddy Roosevelt, okay.
Yeah, put him on a horse or something. I think he'd be good.
Okay. All right. So let's just quickly go through. We're going to end the stream. And when this stream ends, Ryan has his stream. Ryan, do you want to talk about your stream before we get into the final?
Yeah, so it's Toy Hoarders episode 2. It's going to be on pre-orders. It's not going to be on every pre-order I have, but pre-orders, we'll take a look at a specific line. We do have a giveaway. So it's Cristobal giveaway. People were saying that their order was canceled.
Today.
So I have some. What?
Today.
Yeah, it's today. Today I'll be giving that away. So if you want it, join. And then we'll ask some questions throughout the stream so you get on a wheel. It's not going to be a hashtag thing. So I'll put you on a wheel, spin it at the end. And whoever lands on gets it. And then also I'll let the stream join in and do unboxings. So I think I have my pile of shame, or my unboxing pile has had a baby. So it's even larger and larger. So If you want to join the stream, after the pre-orders, I'll put the link in the chat. You can join, and we can just act like it's Christmas morning and open one thing at a time. And I'll let you guys pick what I open. So right now I got, I think, 5 Hot Toys I need to open, tons and tons of stuff. And
you didn't get my box yet, right?
No, your box is, for some reason, your box has been in Indianapolis for like 4 or 5 days.
Great.
So I don't know what's going on. It says it's on its way, but it's getting kind of weird. And it does that sometimes. So our mail, I've been told, sometimes doesn't come to our city or our town, and it takes another week to get here. Like the guy decided not to bring the mail today, which is insane, but that's how it is. So again, if you want to join. I also have a giveaway for Mofex Brown Suit Wolverine. When I hit 500, I'll give that away. And then I also have a prize wheel, which when we hit 500, I'll talk about that. So again, today's the day you can join the stream. So look forward to it, and it will just start right after this. So
okay, so we're done with this stream. Got that sweet merch going on. Woo! Don't tell my wife. Woo! So the link, if you're interested in buying any of these shirts, very, very nice quality. I like them. The link is in the description of the video of the live stream. So the link for Ryan's channel is also down in the description. Click that, head over to his, and he'll be going live in a few minutes. So again, thank you, Ryan, for being here for this, getting to know all the different collectors, getting to know where people started, where they stand right now. Lots of fun. So thanks everybody for joining. This was fun. Trying to keep it very tight, very, very short. So 1 hour is good. And do the tees come in kid size? No. So there's the link. Ryan put it in the chat. Join up, go over, and we'll see you all there in a couple minutes. So thanks a lot, everybody. Take care, and see you all soon.